The silence around you feels heavy, almost as if the air itself is holding its breath. A truth that has been buried is now forcing its way to the surface. What this person did to you left scars, but today the weight of their actions has returned to them, and shame has consumed their soul. They thought time would erase their guilt, but instead, it grew louder in their conscience. Every night they replayed the moment they wronged you, hoping the echoes would fade, yet they only grew sharper. The same arrogance that once fueled them is gone, replaced by trembling regret they can no longer hide. Now, the tables have turned, and their own spirit is restless. They can no longer sleep peacefully, haunted by images of you standing stronger than ever. The shame that burns in them is the very chain that will keep them captive until the truth is faced. Their hands that once pointed against you are now shaking with fear. Their eyes that once avoided yours now lower themselves in defeat. They never expected to fall this hard, yet the moment has come, and nothing can protect them from what their conscience has unleashed. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Archangel Michael says, this is a divine reversal unfolding before your eyes. The one who mocked you now trembles, the one who betrayed you now drowns in their own shame. This is not by accident, it is heaven's way of balancing what was once unfair. Their laughter that once echoed has vanished into whispers of regret. Their confidence has crumbled into silent apologies they don't dare speak. You were wronged deeply, but the light has turned, and now they are trapped in the very darkness they wished upon you. Every step they take feels heavy, every breath a reminder of their mistakes. You have become the mirror they cannot escape, for your resilience exposes their weakness. What once seemed like victory for them has transformed into the most painful defeat. The shame they carry is not light. It is suffocating, overwhelming, and unshakable. Their soul is heavy because they realize nothing they do can undo what has been done. But you stand unshaken, proof that what was meant to break you only made you untouchable. Type Amen to get blessing 444. They thought they silenced you, but your presence now speaks louder than words. The same voice they dismissed echoes like thunder in their heart. They are ashamed not only of what they did, but of underestimating the power of your spirit. They look back and see how cruelly they treated you, and it burns like fire in their veins. They now understand that their pride was their downfall. What they thought was strength was only weakness in disguise, and that weakness is now revealed. This shame will not let them run, no matter how far they go. Every place they turn, your memory haunts them. Every quiet moment turns into a reminder of their betrayal. The burden has fallen on them heavily because the divine has spoken. Justice is not always in words, sometimes it is in the silence that makes someone face themselves. And now they are trapped in that silence, forced to relive every wound they caused you. Type Amen to get blessing 555. The shame is eating away at their spirit like a slow fire. They pretend in front of others, but inside their heart is shattered. They thought no one would know, but the truth is louder than lies. You have risen higher, and that rise pierces them with guilt. They cannot stand the strength you now carry, because it reflects their weakness. Their heart knows the damage they did, and it torments them day and night. The mask they once wore is gone. Their smile is broken, their words stumble, and their eyes avoid contact. This is not the same person who once looked down on you, it is someone broken by the weight of shame. Archangel Michael says, this is divine justice flowing through time. Nothing hidden stays hidden forever. And now, the shame of their betrayal is the loudest truth they must live with. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Their footsteps echo in the dark hall of their memory, and with each echo comes a reminder of what they did to you. The shame grows heavier, like a shadow clinging to them that refuses to leave. Every attempt to smile feels hollow, every word they try to speak feels empty. They remember the day they turned against you, the cruel actions, the lies they spread, the wounds they left behind. At that time, they thought they were untouchable, but now reality has pulled them down. The shame of their choices has painted their soul with regret. They never imagined that the very thing they did to hurt you would return to them with greater force. Every tear you shed has become a weight on their chest. They can no longer hide, because the past has caught up to them. The people around them see it too, something has changed in their eyes. They no longer shine with arrogance, but dim with guilt. They are finally ashamed, and their spirit trembles under the judgment of their own conscience. Type Amen to get blessing 777. The nights bring no peace to them anymore. They lay in silence, but their heart is restless. Their dreams are filled with your face, the memory of the pain they caused. What once seemed small now feels unforgivable in their heart. They realize how much damage their actions brought, and that realization crushes them. Their soul is restless because the truth is heavier than any lie they once lived in. Archangel Michael says, "This shame is not random, it is the result of divine justice." The higher you rise, the lower they feel. Your strength exposes their weakness, and your victory reveals their defeat. They cannot run from it anymore. The shame lives with them, walks with them, breathes with them. It has become their shadow, and it will not leave until they face what they did to you. Type Amen to get blessing 888. Every time they see someone smile at you, it reminds them of how they once tried to destroy that smile. Every blessing that falls into your life reminds them of the curses they once tried to place on you. They cannot escape the truth, it surrounds them like a storm. Their mind whispers, "Why did I do that?" but there is no answer strong enough to erase the reality. They are ashamed not only of the act but of the person they became in that moment. The shame is not only about what they did, it's about who they allowed themselves to be. Your silence is louder than any words you could ever speak. The way you carried your pain and turned it into strength terrifies them. They see you now as someone untouchable, and that makes their shame even heavier. They thought you would never rise again, but here you are, higher than before. And each time you shine, their shame deepens, cutting into their spirit like a blade. What they thought was victory has become the greatest loss of their life. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Their heart trembles at the thought of facing you. The courage they once had to betray you has vanished. They cannot look into your eyes without feeling the sting of guilt. The same mouth that once spoke against you now struggles to find words. The same hands that turned away from you now shake with regret. The same heart that was cold toward you now burns with shame. They try to distract themselves, but nothing works. Every distraction fades, and the truth comes back louder. The shame is stronger than any excuse they try to create. Archangel Michael says, this is the turning point where shame becomes their teacher. It is not punishment, it is revelation. It is the moment where they see what they did and can no longer deny it. Type Amen to get blessing 111. The walls of their own mind are closing in, and there is no escape from what they carry inside. Shame has become their silent prison, locking them in memories they wish they could erase. Every thought of you brings a mirror to their soul, forcing them to see the damage they once caused. They try to laugh with others, but inside the sound feels bitter. Their smile no longer feels real, because every joyful moment is stolen by the echo of guilt. What they once thought was strength is now revealed as weakness, and that weakness is drowning them. The truth is heavy, heavier than they ever imagined. They cannot rewrite the past, and no amount of pretending can take away the reality of what they did. Their shame is louder than the lies they told themselves. Now, their heart carries the weight of every wrong. The shame is not just a passing feeling, it is a fire that burns them slowly. And the more they see your strength, the more their weakness is revealed. Type Amen to get blessing 222. Their voice shakes when your name is mentioned. They cannot bear to hear others speak of you with honor, because it reminds them of the way they betrayed you. The shame deepens, and their spirit collapses under the burden. They look at you from a distance, but they cannot come closer. Every step they try to take is stopped by the wall of regret. Their shame has chained them, making them powerless to undo what was done. Archangel Michael says, this shame is not here to destroy them, it is here to reveal the truth. The universe itself has turned the light back on them. What they once tried to hide is now written in the open, and their soul trembles. Every moment of silence feels like a courtroom. Their conscience is the judge, their actions are the evidence, and their shame is the verdict. There is no escape from this justice. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Their memories replay like a broken record. They remember your face, the pain in your eyes, the silence you carried. They cannot forget it, no matter how hard they try. At night, when the world is quiet, they hear the whispers of their own heart. The same shame that once hid behind their pride now screams in the silence. They are left with nothing but the truth. The shame has made them restless. Their body is present, but their mind is trapped in the past. They are haunted, not by ghosts, but by their own choices. They thought you would never recover, but now you stand higher than ever. And your strength only makes their shame heavier. Their heart aches with the realization that they cannot undo what they did. Type Amen to get blessing 444. They walk into rooms, but the air feels heavy when your name comes up. They cannot hide their trembling because others can see the shift in their eyes. Shame follows them like a shadow that grows darker every day. What once made them proud now makes them crumble. Their actions that once felt powerful now feel poisonous. Every breath is a reminder of what they did to you. Their heart is broken by the realization that they cannot run. Wherever they go, their conscience follows. They cannot escape the shame, for it is inside them, burning every moment. Archangel Michael says, this is the divine hand at work. What was done in secret is now judged in silence. Their shame is proof that heaven does not overlook injustice. Type Amen to get blessing 555. The days are not the same for them anymore. Every morning feels heavy, as if the sun itself refuses to shine on their spirit. They walk through life carrying a weight that no one else can see, but it is crushing them from the inside. The shame has taken away their peace. What once felt like a normal day now feels like punishment, because every corner reminds them of what they did. Their own reflection feels foreign, as though they no longer recognize themselves. They think of you constantly, though they try to push it away. The image of you rising stronger, smiling despite the pain, cuts deeper into their conscience. The shame grows louder because your victory is a reminder of their betrayal. They wish they could erase the past, but time will not allow it. What was done is carved into memory, and no amount of denial can change it. Their shame is their constant companion, and it will not leave them. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Their nights are longer than their days. Sleep runs away from them, because dreams bring back the very moments they want to forget. They see your face in their sleep, and the weight of guilt wakes them up in fear. Every word they spoke against you now feels like poison in their mouth. Every step they took to harm you now burns in their memory. The shame twists their heart, reminding them that nothing can undo the pain they caused. Archangel Michael says, the shame they feel is not an accident, it is the divine hand turning their own actions back toward them. Justice has no need for words, because their own conscience has become their punishment. They are trapped inside their own regrets. They thought you would fall, but you rose instead. And now, the higher you rise, the deeper their shame grows. They see your strength and realize their weakness was always hidden inside them. Type Amen to get blessing 777. The shame follows them into every conversation. When someone speaks of your kindness, their heart drops. When someone mentions your success, their spirit breaks. They cannot run from it. Their hands shake when they try to pretend everything is fine. The world around them may not know the details, but their heart does. And the heart is a prison that no one can escape from. They wonder if others can see the guilt in their eyes. They avoid eye contact, because they know the truth is written in their face. Shame has a way of showing itself, even in silence. Archangel Michael says, "What you lost will return to you multiplied, and what they took from you will torment them until they bow before the truth." This is divine alignment, where shame becomes the seed of their undoing. Type Amen to get blessing 888. The shame has stolen their joy. The laughter they once had is hollow. The people around them can sense something is wrong, but they cannot explain it. They carry a heaviness that does not leave. It is not illness, not pain from outside, it is the weight of the soul. A weight that grows every time they see you shining brighter. They know the truth, they failed you, and in failing you, they failed themselves. This shame is not temporary, because it has wrapped itself around their heart like chains. And those chains tighten every time they try to forget. Their spirit knows that what is hidden will always come to light. And in this light, they are naked before their own mistakes. The shame has consumed them, and there is no escape. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They move through their days like a shadow, pretending to be fine while inside they are breaking. The shame of what they did to you follows them like a curse they cannot shake off. No matter how far they try to run, their own mind betrays them with reminders. Their confidence has disappeared, replaced with trembling silence. Once they held their head high with pride, but now their eyes avoid everyone, especially you. The shame is too much for them to bear, and it is eating them from within. They remember the exact moment they hurt you, every word, every action. It plays back like a movie in their head, a movie they cannot pause or stop. The guilt they feel now is stronger than the pride they once carried. This shame will not fade, it grows every time they see you rise higher. Each step you take forward is a mirror showing them how low they have fallen. They are left to sit with the truth, and the truth has no mercy on them. Type Amen to get blessing 111. Their spirit is restless. Nights are sleepless, days are long, and their soul has no peace. The shame whispers louder than any voice around them. When they hear your name, their heart sinks. They cannot stand the thought of you knowing how deeply they regret what was done. But the shame does not allow them to hide forever. Archangel Michael says, this weight is their lesson, their punishment, and their awakening. What was done in arrogance has now become the source of their trembling. The divine hand has made sure they cannot run from their own heart. Your silence is louder than anything you could have said. It pierces them deeper than anger or revenge ever could. And in that silence, their shame grows until it becomes unbearable. Type Amen to get blessing 222. They walk among people, but they feel exposed. They wonder if others can see their guilt. Their shame has written itself on their face, even when their lips try to smile. What they did in secret has become a storm in their soul. They cannot escape it because it lives within them. Every moment of joy turns into ashes in their mouth, because shame steals it away. Their body is tired, but it is their spirit that suffers the most. They feel hollow inside, as though something precious has been ripped away. That something was their honor, and shame has replaced it. Archangel Michael says, no one escapes the weight of truth. The same hands that wounded you now tremble in weakness. The same voice that mocked you now shakes in silence. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Their shame deepens every time they see you stronger. You are a reminder that what they meant for harm became the reason you rose higher. This is what haunts them, the fact that their betrayal only made you unstoppable. They thought they had power over you, but now they realize the power has always been with you. They are left with nothing but the taste of regret. Their heart aches with the knowledge that they cannot undo the past. They wanted you to break, but you healed. They wanted you to fall, but you stood taller. And now, their shame burns hotter because they see you shining where they wanted you gone. This shame will not leave them. It will follow them until the day they speak the truth. Until then, their soul will carry this heavy fire. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Their world feels smaller now, every step surrounded by memories they cannot outrun. Shame has turned into chains that grip their soul tighter with every passing day. They move, they breathe, but nothing feels free anymore. Their laughter, once loud and proud, has now died into silence. Even in crowds, they feel alone, because their guilt has separated them from peace. The shame is not just an emotion, it has become their new reality. They remember how they once looked at you with coldness, thinking they held control. Now they can't even face their reflection, because the truth burns their eyes. Shame has stolen the false pride they once wore like armor. The whispers in their heart are louder than any noise outside. Every time they try to distract themselves, the silence comes back, stronger than before. And in that silence, the truth always finds them. Type Amen to get blessing 555. They see you now, unbroken, standing taller than ever. That vision pierces their soul because it proves everything they once believed was wrong. The shame is heavier because your strength highlights their weakness. Archangel Michael says, "This is divine reversal, what was meant to break you became your rising." And what they thought would elevate them has dragged them into shame. The balance has been restored, and they are left trembling. Their pride has shattered. The mask they wore has cracked, and the person behind it is weak and broken. Their shame is carved into their spirit, unshakable and undeniable. Every blessing that enters your life reminds them of what they tried to steal. Every smile on your face reminds them of the tears they caused. And each reminder digs deeper into their heart, making their shame unbearable. Type Amen to get blessing 666. The people around them sense the change, though they do not speak of it. They notice the trembling, the distant eyes, the restless soul. But only they know the true reason, shame. They carry guilt like a wound that never heals. It bleeds into their thoughts, staining everything they try to build. And no matter how much they try to cover it, the shame always leaks through. They cannot escape the truth anymore. It sits in their chest like fire, burning, relentless. And every day, the fire only grows stronger. Type Amen to get blessing 777. The nights are the worst. When silence covers the world, their heart screams the loudest. Dreams remind them of your face, and shame wakes them before the morning light. They cannot escape sleep, and they cannot rest in it either. Every path leads them back to the same memory, the same wound. Their soul is chained, and the key is nowhere in sight. Archangel Michael says, "This is not punishment by accident, this is justice in its purest form." Shame is the mirror they must live with. It is the weight of truth pressing on their soul. They thought betrayal would make them stronger, but now it has become their weakness. They thought they could bury the past, but now the past has become their constant future. Shame has consumed them completely. Type Amen to get blessing 888. The weight of their past grows heavier each day. What was once hidden now screams inside of them like thunder. Their shame has become a punishment that no one else can see, but it is destroying them slowly. They walk with their head lowered, afraid of the eyes around them. They wonder if others can sense the guilt that burns inside. Shame makes them feel exposed even when no one speaks. Their actions play again and again in their mind like a cruel reminder. Every moment of betrayal, every word of cruelty, every step against you is carved into their memory. They cannot escape it, no matter how far they try to run. Their soul trembles when your name is mentioned. It is as though the air changes, and their heart sinks with unbearable weight. Shame has become their shadow, and it will not leave. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They once thought their pride would protect them, but pride has melted into dust. The mask they wore has shattered, and beneath it lies a broken spirit. Shame has stripped away every illusion they once lived in. Archangel Michael says, "This is divine justice at work. What was stolen will be restored to you, and their shame will never let them rest until the truth is revealed. The same silence you endured is now their prison. They cannot escape the voice of their own conscience. They feel the fire of regret in their chest. It burns when they try to laugh, it burns when they try to rest, it burns when they try to forget. This fire is their constant companion, and shame is the fuel. They thought they ended your strength, but your rising has become their torment. Every blessing in your life is a reminder of their failure. Their shame multiplies with every victory you achieve. Type Amen to get blessing 111. Their spirit is restless even among crowds. They smile when people look, but inside they are shaking. Their shame makes them feel like a stranger in their own skin. They look at you now with eyes full of regret. The same person who once looked at you with coldness now cannot meet your gaze. Shame has taken away their courage, leaving only trembling weakness. They wonder what life would look like if they had chosen differently. But shame reminds them that the past cannot be rewritten. They must carry the scars of their choices forever. Their shame deepens because they know you deserved better. And now, every act of kindness shown to you from others reminds them of how cruel they were. The shame grows unbearable with each passing day. Type Amen to get blessing 222. The nights stretch endlessly before them. They lie awake, listening to the silence, but inside their heart screams with guilt. The shame speaks louder than their thoughts, louder than their breath. They cannot hide from the memories. Each one returns like waves, crashing harder and harder. The shame wraps around them like a storm with no escape. Archangel Michael says, shame is the hand of justice pressing on them until they bend to truth. The same arrogance that once blinded them is now broken. Their soul trembles because heaven has turned the light against them. They are haunted not by ghosts, but by their own actions. The betrayal that once gave them pride has turned into poison in their veins. The shame is inescapable, and it consumes them. Type Amen to get blessing 333.